Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nicolette Hodge. I am an Indra warrior here in the Midwest, standing with and representing Master Solomon, the Son of Man, the breaker of the seven seals, and the self-taught one. Welcome. Today we're going to be speaking about getting our names registered in the Lamb's Book of Life. We're going to talk about what that means and how we're going to do it. Okay, before we get started, we're not going to let them diminish or try to sweep under the rug what they did to us. They terrorized us and tortured us. They put us through the Holocaust. This is our history that they are working overtime to make everyone forget, especially you, brothers and sisters. Slavery is working someone without paying them. Where in that is rape, sodomy, torture, pedophilia, cannibalism, hunting us, feeding our babies as bait to wild animals, burning us at the stake, using our skin to cover your shoes and your purses, using our bones as furniture, using our hair as cushions. Where in that is slavery? Nowhere. Because what they put us through was not slavery. It's the Holocaust. And that's why they will receive double of what they did to us. So why would you want to stay in this land where your enemies are about to be judged for what they did to us, brothers and sisters? Why would you want to stay in the land of our oppressor? Brothers and sisters, welcome. We're going to speak about this This Lamb Book of Life. Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you had known me, you would know my Father well. You would know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. Chapter 19 of Revelations calls Master Fard Muhammad faithful and true. We know he is our faithful and true God. Master Solomon is the son. Master Fard Muhammad is the father. When you see one, you see the other. Therefore, Master Solomon is our faithful and true God as well. Now, why do I say that? Master Solomon has been on the scene for 30 plus years, 24/7, returning this knowledge of self to us. He broke the seven seals of the angel in 1990, sent shockwaves through the planet. 1991 came in with the Gulf War. And Islam has been attacked as a result of these seals being broken. Now, what we need to understand, brothers and sisters, is that heaven is not some mystical, spooky place that you go to after you die. Heaven is the Middle East. And faith, us knowing, because that's the first mathematical pillar of Islam, is consequence, which is faith. And it says that Master Fard Muhammad is faithful, and we know that Master Solomon is the son, and he's faithful as well. And so everything that they do is mathematics, based off of mathematics. Now, with Master Solomon going in and breaking the seven seals of the angel and letting us know these events before they happen, making us prophets and prophetess, we've seen that Iran and Syria will be under the JCPOA deal for 3.5 years and wouldn't go any longer. Revelation calls it them being under the foot of the nations. And after that 3.5 year time period, from 2015 to 2018 and a half, that was it for the JCPOA deal. And then scriptures tells us that America and Britain will be kicked out the Middle East first, and that false Israel will go under siege. This is Michael and his angels, Master Fard Muhammad, Iran and Syria, our brothers and sisters, going to war with the dragon, which is the House of Assad, and his angels, false Israel, America, and Britain. And so, with us having this faith, that means that you know there's a consequence, or there's an action for every there's an opposite or equal reaction for every action. So with you having this faith, and you knowing this, you start preparing yourself, getting focused, and getting our discipline so that we can get through this time period and get home. Now, why am I saying this? Because you hearing this message, but you putting it in your back pocket until things hit the fan. You've maintained a neutral stance. You wasn't for the message, you wasn't pushing it, and you wasn't against it. Yet, the whole time, you knew, and you know that we are at war, and you knew what the outcome is about to be for a lot of our people. Because it says that, out of 17 million of us, only 144,000 are getting out on the first trip. So that's less than 1% of our people. The rest will have to go through tribulations. You sat up there and absorbed all this information for years. But you never got focused. You never gained your discipline. And most importantly, you never warned any of our people about what was about to take place. You kept all this information in your back pocket. And you think that when everything kicks off and reaches a boiling point, you're just going to pop up and you're going to have your salvation. Not only that, you've been walking around saying, I'm a good person. I know ain't nothing bad about to happen to me. I'm nice. I hold doors open for people. I'm healthy. I take care of myself. I follow the 10 Commandments and whatever, the Bible or whatever religion you're in. I have morals. I'm not out here lying, cheating, and stealing. And you never took this information and absorbed it. You never truly grasped knowledge of self. You never worked on your discipline. And so you compromise this message. Now, here's the thing about that. Yes, we still have to go to work. We still have to feed our children. But now that you know who your enemies are, there's no way that you can blindly push masses' dream. Because now that you're awake and you see that the dream is something you had to be asleep to even buy into, then you by compromising this, you're putting yourself in a position where it's harder to pull away. Because you knew the truth, but you were still jeffing with these devils and shucking and jiving with them instead of getting out, letting our sisters and brothers know that we are at war, letting our people know what's going to happen next, letting our people know that we have to be prepared to flee here in a couple of days. And so, with you running around saying, oh, but I'm nice and I'm a good person, I have a good heart, we know that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Being nice or a good person or what you think is righteousness, it's not enough. And not only that, you never registered your name in the Lamb Book of Life. So you thought you was straight. You thought when Judgment Day came, you would be okay. The thing is, brothers and sisters, If you truly had the faith, which is based off of facts, and you understood our faithful and true God is being on the scene, Master Fard Muhammad and Master Solomon, then you would be prepared. Because if you're putting this information in your back pocket and waiting until false Israel gets destroyed to start making moves, you mess around and have a heart attack. Not only that, you waited too late, because now they're attacking all of us. And so all this time that you've been hearing this information and getting this knowledge, you're supposed to be getting focused and getting disciplined. And when I say get focused, that means you get in there and study. And get in there and lift the weights so you can understand what's coming next. But instead of doing that, you're being nice and naive with these devils. Still compromising. Not understanding that being nice and naive is what has gotten us to this point right now. This is why we have gotten ourselves in so much trouble. Being nice and naive to the enemy. Because the enemy don't care how nice and sweet you are. They're going to use that against us like they've been doing this whole time. So, this mindset you have of you just going to sit back and watch and wait. You know, put this in your back pocket until it's time. That's you compromising this information, this truth. You're compromising it, and you still are building the reality of our enemy. Because we're still sitting here in America, and they're giving things to us, and we're accepting it. I mean, we're here. They're running everything. So they're giving us a pension or government benefits or food, fuel, a home, a car. And on a mathematical sense, we owe them. They can take that payment back however they want. If they want to take it as oppressing us, which they are, and taking our creative power, making us build their reality as they are in control over it, using our energy to keep their reality moving. Because the minute we stop building their reality is over. Yes, they are in control of it, but they need us to build it. We are their creative power. We are their wealth. We are the gold and silver. All innovations come from us. And they take it and they make their money off of it, and they live good off of us. And so with you being naive, still in Master's face, jeffing with him, compromising this message, and you are actually giving away your power. And you still are building their reality. Because at the end of the day, you're putting this message aside to push Master's vision. So Master is still winning as far as he's concerned. And so you think you're just going to keep going this same way until it's time for us to get out of here. But you never opened up your mouth to let our brothers and sisters know what's about to happen. And you've had a front row seat the whole time. And not only that, you compromise this message. So, Eric Muhammad, Time Anchor, Silas Muhammad, those who are in these different subgroups and cults, claiming that they understand what's going on and they don't, claiming that they're living this righteous life, and that they're, being nice to different brothers and sisters. You're not doing anything but misleading our people. You don't understand what's going on, but you're just sticking to it. You got those in the NOI who have completely sold out, Ishmael, who is the son of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you know you don't understand what's going on. You know you don't know what these scriptures are saying. But you're getting up there lying. And not only that, you blocking this truth from the rest of our people that could be getting it. You know, you still on the job pushing Master's vision. You know the truth, but you still in Master's face trying to stay on his good side. And the thing is, so many of our brothers and sisters right next to you have already losing out on their salvation because this information is being blocked. And then the person who did know was so busy kissing Master's behind that you never stop to get our brothers and sisters. And so they have these demons in our face telling us that, you know, we see all these problems going on in the country. That's why we need to get up and vote with the Democratic Party so we can, you know, be the change we want to see. And we need our 6 states. And, you know, we have to get our own systems going, our black-owned schools, our black hospitals. And they keep missing out the biggest problem. We are still on the land that we have been imprisoned in. These demons, their goal and agenda is to stay up under their devil daddies. Every time they come out with a complaint, it all boils down to they want to be in charge. They want to be running things. Still the same system of democracy and capitalism, but with the demons in charge. So, if you're not a demon and you're not a devil, you're running around maintaining a neutral stance with this message, then you are being held accountable because you knew the truth. The whole time you knew the truth and you understood the truth. But you were comfortable. You're comfortable. So you never got serious. You felt like you already knew something. You know, I know this individual won't let me tell anything to this person. I already know all of that. And you never took the time yet. Okay, you think you know everything. Did you get your name registered in the Lamb's Book of Life? You're not getting to the Father unless you go through the Son. Because we know that Master Solomon is preparing this new ark, building this kingdom that will last forever. And then he's going to turn us over to Master Farad Muhammad, our God, who Master Farad Muhammad says that we are his aunt and uncle. So he sees us, what does that make him, our nephew? So he's telling us that he's not above us. You know, he's our brother. And so, in order for us to truly understand the beauty of that, we have to have the true knowledge of self and be disciplined, because we have to build our paradise. Not only that, we have to get the whole world back onto a mathematical standard. We have to build our kingdom. A kingdom that would never fail. That is, has a very sturdy and stable foundation. And so, if you understand any of this message and you are sitting on your hands, then you're showing that you don't care anything about our people, our mission, us going home, or anything. And with that being the case, then you have no right to jump up and try crawling back to us when false Israel goes under siege, when America and Britain get kicked out the Middle East, when you realize that the fire has caused this pot to boil. Now, a lot of people my age don't understand just how serious this war is, because a lot of people my age you've been seeing wars your whole life. That's what they say. People my age say, oh, America's been at war my whole life. Yeah, you were born 90, 91, 92, 95. The seals were broken in 1990. So you under 30 years old. We've been at war our whole life. Now, there's a couple of perspectives you can take this as, because anytime you were born into the Holocaust from 1619 to 2019, we have been born into war, because they have been fighting against us to completely destroy us. However, more recently, if you were born after 1990 when the seals were broken, you're seeing these wars taking place around the planet. And because we were born into this war zone, it doesn't really mean much to you. You know, you're not really taking it serious, because as far as you're concerned, America has been fighting our whole life. You don't realize that you are being born in this time of a transition from one reality into the next. And so it's easier for us to pick up this knowledge of self and this information, because we haven't been all the way bombarded down with we haven't been completely all the way conditioned being in hell as if a lot of our older brothers and sisters have, those who are set in their ways, okay, and time anchors stuck in the past and whatnot. And so there's advantages and disadvantages to being in this age group, because you're not taking nothing serious, because it's been serious from day one. You know, so you're just used to it. Whereas on the other hand, our brothers and sisters that are, you know, late 40s, 50s, and 60s and whatnot, you may have had a chance to come in contact with the messenger's teachings. You may be a child of the first. And so, and you may have gotten an experience to see how the FOI and the discipline of the military is and was. So you may have a better understanding of how to secure us, sisters. And you may have a better understanding of what it is that these devils have been doing to us for the past 466 years. So if you are an older brother or sister and you see what's going on, you understand, then you have an even greater responsibility to our younger brothers and sisters to help guide us. Because a lot of our young people don't understand what's going on. And the older ones of our brothers and sisters, I'm not speaking about the demons, because we know the demons are right there in the church, is pushing Master's vision and telling us to pray for our enemies and everything else. Just like Farrakhan, robbing us and have built their own paradise. And he's a demon as well. I'm speaking about our brothers and sisters that you know the messenger's teachings. You understand that these devils have been trying to destroy us. You know the messenger said that we are going back home to our land in Arabia. But you're maintaining a neutral stance. You will be held accountable as well. Because that's blood on your hands, brothers and sisters. Do you realize that? Do you realize that understanding this message or knowing this message and sitting on it is blood on your hands? And that even though you think you're doing everything right, you have not gotten your name registered in the Lamb's Book of Life, because you never truly uploaded this angel. And you never gained knowledge of self. And you never got serious. Because if you had gained knowledge of self, you would understand that we are all part of one body. And that one cannot function without the other. And had you understand that, you would know that unity is what's going to bring us or cause us to form our army and get out of here. Us unifying and coming together. So if you're still running around on this individualistic thinking, and I'm good. I got mine taken care of, and the rest of our brothers and sisters have nothing, then that means you don't deserve to be a part of our kingdom. Because you're on that individualistic thinking and you think you know everything, you missed the biggest factor, which is getting your name in the Lamb's Book of Life. So, we're going to speak about those who don't get their name in the Lamb's Book of Life. They're going to be going through tribulations. A couple of the injured warriors have been speaking about famine. This is a great topic. We know that there's several plagues coming in. They got their first plague, COVID. They can't shake it. Every time they try to mess with it, it morphs into something, another strand, even more intense than the last one. Biden is fighting for his life right now. And things are getting worse. And it's going to keep getting worse. They haven't seen anything. So, tribulations. You refuse to get your name in the Lamb's Book of Life. You out here on this individualistic thinking, yet you are original. And you put this into your back pocket, this information in your back pocket, and you have maintained a neutral stance. You're not against it. You're not for it. You haven't warned anyone. You show up at the last minute as we are boarding the wheels, getting ready to get up out of here. The wheels are the technical marvel that Master Fard Muhammad has prepared for us. They're calling it UFOs. They don't even have the comprehension to even understand. They cannot wrap their mind around these wills at all. All they know is that they are more powerful than anything that these devils have ever seen. Is hovering over their military bases and wiping out their nuclear power. And so you think you're going to show up at the last minute and come on home with us. No, 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 no. Everybody has a part that they must fulfill. With you being on this individualistic thinking, you don't see why you should be unifying our people. You don't see why you should be warning our people so our people can be prepared. And so you find yourself being rejected because you're not in the Lamb's Book of Life. And you have to go through tribulations to do what you should have been doing the whole time, which is gathering our people and unifying our sisters and brothers by letting them know that there is a reward for our suffering. The Abrahamic covenant. The 5 fundamental mathematical pillars of Islam, which is going to get us through and is our very nature. And so this is one of the things that's going to be taking place. They're already telling you about the food shortage or famine. Just think, these devils run out of food. Who's the first person they're looking at as a meal? And not only that, they have no discipline whatsoever. They automatically resort to cannibalism. Okay, and we have been taken so far away from our nature, a lot of our brothers and sisters don't even understand fasting at all. And so, you don't understand 1 meal a day maximizes your energy and keeps you healthy. Those killed by the sword are better off than those who die of famine. Racked with hunger, they waste away for lack of food from the field. With their own hands, compassionate women have cooked their own children who became their food when my people were destroyed. Everything that they've done to us will be coming back on them. Double time. And it's better to die by the sword than of hunger. Brothers and sisters, hunger pains, I would not wish. The pain of hunger is a pain that can only be fixed by eating. That's the whole thing about it. Because of thirst, the infant's tongue sticks to the roof of its mouth. The children beg for bread, but no one gives it to them. They're telling you right now that there's not even any food to bring to these grocery stores. You so busy worried about your next club outing, your next TV show, your next drink, that you're not realizing what's unfolding right around you, brothers and sisters. The angel is coming more and more into focus every day. we know that those in the Lamb's Book of Life will always have a meal. However, if you failed to get your name in the Lamb's Book of Life, then this is what you're going to be experiencing, the same thing as our enemies, the same judgment that's coming down on them. Now, the crazy thing about this scripture right here is this is exactly what they did to us. When we were in agricultural slavery, right now we're in industrial slavery, back in the agricultural slavery, they forced us to feed their devil babies. We could not touch our babies until Massa gave the okay, and that was only after all of Massa's children and the demons were taken care of. So Massa's white babies that he had with his devil woman, and Massa's demon children that was put into us by relentless rape. And only after all those babies were fed were we allowed to touch our original babies. So this thirst, because of thirst, the infant's tongue sticks to the roof of its mouth. That's what they did to us. The children beg for bread, but no one gives it to them. That's what they did to us. They starved our babies. They starved us. And let them find out that one of us can produce a good supply of milk. We were tortured to feed their 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 devil babies before we could touch our one original baby. And what's so sick about it is that a lot of sisters who breastfeed know this, that when your baby cries for you, it sends a signal to your body. It makes your body start producing milk. Your shirt will actually get wet from milk seeping through your clothes as your baby is crying, because you're connected to your child's connected to your body, and it sends a signal to the brain to produce more milk to feed that baby. With that being said, our babies are on the ground screaming for us, and we are being forced, as all this milk is coming down, because remember, our bodies are responding to this outcry from our children, and we are forced to feed all of Massa's children before we could even touch ours. They didn't care about anything. They did not care about our children starving to death. They didn't care about wearing us down and exhausting us. They used us until there was nothing left, and we had to nourish and raise their children. A lot of the time, our children were already sold off to the next plantation. And so it's just amazing how everything that they did to us will be done to them. And you would be out of your mind to sit here and go through this with them. You would be completely out of your mind to sit here with your oppressor, brothers and sisters. So, this is just giving some insight on what are the things that we have to do to get our name registered in the Lamb Book of Life, because that's the only way that you are getting out of here, brothers and sisters. And thinking that you are a good person, you're a nice person, and all this is not enough. Do you have knowledge of self? Do you understand the 5 fundamental mathematical pillars of Islam? Have you warned any of our brothers and sisters about what's to come? If you cannot answer those 3 questions, then you need to get on that ASAP. It's time to get focused and get our discipline, our very nature of righteousness. Okay, and we got to get out here and let our brothers and sisters know what's going on. Now, I'm not telling you to get up here and do anything, brothers and sisters. You come into contact with our people on a daily basis, and what are you talking about? Nothing. I've had several family members hit me up, calling me. They stopped calling me now because they're not talking about anything. And every time they get on the phone with me, I remind them about the Abrahamic covenant, this war that's taking place in the Middle East, and us going home. And either you're going to get on board with this message, or you're going to get the hell out the way. And so it's got to the point where family members don't even call anymore because they know that this message is not being compromised. Period. And this is something that is part of our discipline, becoming disciplined. Not allowing these distractions to come in and take away from our mission of getting our people to salvation. And so, if you understand anything that's being shared, you need to get on the case like yesterday. Because our people's lives are dependent on this information, and you can see what's going on. And know that no matter how much of a good person or how righteous you think you are, if you do not get your name in this Lamb Book of Life by returning knowledge of self, returning to full knowledge of self, understanding these 5 mathematical pillars of Islam, and warning our people, then you have to get all of that through tribulations. You have to get all that discipline, all that knowledge of self, and still warning and unifying our people through tribulations. And that's where it's really going to take a lot of discipline to get through tribulations in itself, because famine, hunger, no electricity, no water, no clean water. These devils picking us off one by one. These demons having a protest and rioting to take America over. The 5-month demon plague that Master Solomon keeps warning us about. And if you're still on this individualistic thinking, and I'm going to do me, and then there is no way that you're going to get through this in one piece. And being a good person and being nice has nothing to do with it. If anything, that's how they've been able to take advantage of us for so long. Because we've been in a heart zone and we have not shown any type of discipline. So being nice and naive to the enemy is a lack of discipline. Let me say that again. Being nice and naive, compromising what you know is true for these enemies is a lack of discipline. And you still cannot come home with that type of mindset. So, brothers and sisters, let's get focused. Because we need to get focused. We need to get focused and get prepared for this war. I will be back with more. Assalamu alaikum.